DreamWorks started out as a passion project to get back at Disney. Nowadays, however, DreamWorks has pumped out 42 feature films, some better than others. With classics like Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda, and How to Train Your Dragon, DreamWorks has cemented themselves as great filmmakers that quite often surprise those with their films. This happened recently with The Bad Guys, a movie the writers of this script was not particularly excited to see. After finishing the film, that opinion changed, but we're not here to talk about their opinion. We're here to discuss the characters of this film once more, but this time asking an important question. Who is the dullest character in the film and who is the smartest? I'm Caleb with Wicked Binge, and this is DreamWorks' The Bad Guys, Dumb Too Brilliant. Also, fair warning as we've said with both previous lists, major spoiler territory, including the two biggest twists in the film. So if you haven't seen the film, we recommend you see it first before watching this video. Let's start with the dullest knives in our drawer. These are the dumb. Earning our gold medal of dullness is actually Tiffany Fluffit. Now, Tiffany is definitely the dumbest character in the film simply because she seems to care very little about anything but getting to a story first and reporting the surface level facts.
And all stereotypes have been affirmed.
She's willing to believe any story thrown at her, such as that Professor Marmalade is the Crimson Paw. She'll report on something just so she could say she got there first. Now she's the dumbest simply because she is easily manipulated by everyone around her, which is not great for a reporter. This silver medal of dullness goes to Cuddles, Marmalade's minion. Cuddles is another human character and seems to be Marmalade's butler, but is at the very least his head minion. From what we can tell, Cuddles never speaks. We don't know if he's mute or a robot or something of that nature, but he is silent the entire time. Now, he is shown to be quite intelligent when it comes to weaponry and traps, so much so Marmalade trusts him to destroy Wolf and Diane. He can fly a helicopter and he is able to help Marmalade in countless ways. We consider this to make him slightly smarter than Tiffany because being a pilot is quite hard. Grabbing the bronze medal of dullness is none other than the police chief Misty Luggins. Misty is the police chief who has been hunting the bad guys for a long time. Now, she's not nearly as dumb as her size would imply. Sure, she is easily tricked and doesn't realize that she's holding a snake and not a glass late in the movie, but she's not really that stupid when it comes down to it. She's smart when it comes to her police work, even if she can be dodged quickly by the bad guys.
One of these days your luck is gonna run out!
She even states that she wanted to get into music and other things that require much more intricate knowledge like the piccolo, although her size stopped that. She is depicted as quite dull, but she's definitely the brightest of the human characters in the film. With the dumbest out of the way, we can now move on to the average. The first average intelligence character on this list is Mr. Piranha. Now out of the gang, he is definitely the dullest, and this comes in tandem with his status as the muscle of the group. He is shown to be quite crazy most of the time, jumping between moving vehicles and attacking any and everything in front of him.
I fart when I'm nervous.
Yeah, nervous about lying.
Now, the reason we put him at average intelligence is that he is shown to be quite clever at times. He knows how to distract people by breaking out into songs or utilizing his size for the classic surprise attacks. Now, Mr. Piranha is definitely the dumbest of the crew, but that doesn't make him stupid. Next on our list is another member of the gang, Mr. Shark. Mr. Shark is a big guy, but don't let his size fool you, he can actually be quite smart. He's a master of disguise, and his disguises always work. Not a single one fails throughout the film. He does get easily tricked by Snake during the film and does seem quite dull at times. But the main thing comes from his sheer skill in disguises, not to mention his improv skills, which help out in most situations.
Shark, we're in.
Oops, I forgot, I'm not pregnant.
Mr. Shark is pretty much the midpoint of the list because with this list, he's probably the most average intelligent character in the movie. And before you say anything in the comments, yes, he is extremely similar to the Harley Quinn show's version of King Shark, which we love. However, rounding out the average section of our list is Mr. Snake. Now, Mr. Snake is a safecracker and Houdini without arms, which shows he needs a decent amount of intelligence. He is also shown to be somewhat of a philosopher at the beginning of the film when he explains why he likes eating guinea pigs. Snake is even smart enough to betray and trick Marmalade without him even noticing. This goes to show that Mr. Snake is, at least to some degree, a bit smarter than Marmalade. However, he is generally seen as much less smart than the professor. Not to say Snake is stupid or anything. He's, like we mentioned, quite clever, but he isn't nearly the smartest of the bad guys. But now we can move into the smartest of the smart. We now move into the brilliant. Starting off our brilliant category is none other than Mr. Wolf himself. Describing himself as the big bad wolf, Mr. Wolf leads the bad guys in their hundreds of heists and many schemes. Mr. Wolf is no doubt very smart, as throughout most of the movie, he is the one who is making the heist plans down to the very smallest detail and executing them nearly perfectly. He's skilled in a variety of things, including being an expert pickpocket who is able to steal nearly anything without the person noticing. He's shown to be suave and able to charm people into doing things he wants, which he is able to use to his advantage more often than not. He's also shown to be quite manipulative, such as convincing Snake to go do the Golden Dolphin heist because the one earning the trophy was a guinea pig.
Will cement our legacy as the greatest criminals of all time.
He is definitely a smart cookie, but he is not the smartest person in the movie. Hell, he's not even the smartest person in his own game. Grabbing the Bronze Medal of Brilliance is none other than Professor Rupert Marmalade IV. We settled on giving Marmalade second place for a few reasons. While Marmalade is intelligent enough to not only trick the bad guys, but the general public and the entirety of the world, save for Diane, he's shown that he's also quite deranged.
The big bad wolf is attacking me.
Late in the movie, especially after his true nature is revealed, shows that he's actually kind of dumb at times, thanks to being focused more on completing his plan than anything. While in this deranged state, he loses any semblance of sanity or critical thinking skills, which means he on the whole becomes much dumber. This gets to the point where he doesn't realize that the meteorite is actually a meteorite-shaped lamp. But this doesn't change the fact that, in general, he is vastly intelligent, able to outsmart everyone except Diane. Also, he's voiced by Richard Ayoade, who honestly has an already iconic voice.
Bad guy's bad. Good guy's good.
Speaking of, snatching the Silver Medal of Brilliance is Diane Foxington, aka the Crimson Fox. Diane is the governor of the city in which the bad guys takes place, and shows she's quite intelligent in this regard. Not only does she understand the bad guys and their motives down to a T, but even explains what they were going to do next criminally. She's also shown to be quite the criminal, having been the illustrious, uncatchable Crimson Paw before becoming the mayor.
Guess I'm still the best bad guy the world has ever seen.
She was smart enough to hide a diamond in plain sight which no one seemed to catch, and her identity was never revealed. She is politically intelligent as well, as she seems to be a good governor for the most part. She is skilled in riding a motorcycle, utilization of special thief tech, and even gets into debates with Mr. Wolf about certain technology and their uses, showing she is quite well versed in those items. Honestly, Diane's quickness on both her feet and with her mind shows that she's one of the most intelligent people in the movie, but she's still slightly outclassed. In our opinion, grabbing our Gold Medal of Brilliance is Miss Tarantula. This was the hardest character to place on the list, simply because we weren't sure if she was number 2 or number 1. We ended up placing her at number 1 because of her sheer amount of skills in a variety of fields. She has a wide array of knowledge on all things technological, from streetlights to security systems to computers. She is a master of technology, even having a custom computer that she can utilize using all 8 of her limbs at one time if she wants to. She is even shown to be able to hack through a security system specifically made to keep her and the bad guys out. Honestly, it's no surprise she's the smartest, as she's clearly smarter than everyone else. Even if she is tricked by Marmalade, although that's more Wolf's fault than anything. But let us know in the comments section if you agree with our ranking, and tell us what we should cover next. remember to hit that notification bell and binge our Dumb to Brilliant playlist, where we figure out which characters have the most wits. But most importantly, stay wicked.